Good morning, lovelies. This is going to be a review for sections 7 and 8 of Beowulf, which are the last two sections. As we are creeping to the end of this text, you'll notice that this is attached to your directions for your Socratic seminar. This is to help you kind of get started on your essay for this unit. Remember, I do not give prompts. So this is going to be about what you want to talk about in reference to the text, and of course that means knowing what the text is about. So we've done a lot of little activities along the way for, characterization and devices and all other kind of stuff pertaining to this text. You're welcome to use any of those ideas. You're welcome to talk about something completely different. And the Socratic seminar questions give you a little bit of something to start with in case you're not sure where you want to start or what you want to talk about. You don't have to use those questions, but you're welcome to if that's what you need to do to get started. So for section 7 was Beowulf's last battle, or no, the death of Beowulf, I think. Yes, sorry, crazy. The death of Beowulf. So we see a lot of interesting things going on in this section. If you weren't getting hit over the head with references to God in previous sections, section 7 definitely hits you over the head with it. Starting from the very beginning. And we almost see this this absence of God, whereas in the previous sections, God has always been on Beowulf's side. We actually don't see that with this section, and he's kind of seeing that it's time for him to go. And he doesn't seem to have very many regrets or anything like that. He, in fact, I believe somewhere says he doesn't have any regrets about the decisions he's made in his life. He ruled in peace for 50 years. That wasn't violent. He didn't have to make huge sacrifices. Nothing extreme. But those 50 years were peaceful, and he was a good ruler, it seemed. People were loyal to him, and he was loyal to them. There is definitely much talk of the treasure that they have won now that they have slain the dragon. There's a description of the treasure, including, plates, cups, jewels, helmets, and of course this large banner that they bring a lot of attention to. And of course, the treasure is one thing. The banner can have different symbolic meanings, such as maybe like a shroud. A shroud is like a burial cloak that someone is wrapped in. For example, Jesus had one. Helmets can be a reference to a lot of dead bodies that are there too. So Beowulf is not the first, but he is the last person to fall from this particular dragon. We definitely see in the little parentheses section, it says, so gold can easily triumph, defeat the strongest of men, no matter how deep it is hidden. And I think that is a huge nod to greed, and we talked about this in class for sure. How this is a comment on like humankind and greed, and it's definitely maybe a mention of Anglo-Saxons, talking about treasure, and possibly monks saying a little something about, this is against God's will, it's against sinning. The Kinnings hit you over the head in this section, if you're not sure about those. Sorry about that, guys. Running a little late this morning. Again, definitely a lot of Kinnings in this section. Wiglaf kind of, shows victorious as this leader and this almost Beowulf replacement, which is kind of what we've been referring to him in class as. He, of course, gives the recommendations for what he wants for his burial. He asks for kind of like 2 important things, so make sure you know what those are. And it kind of shows a lot of things. It shows if they complete this task, it shows that they have a lot of respect for him. But it also shows that he's still kind of a leader based on what he asked for, because it's still guiding people in a way, so he's still a leader even though he has passed. Wiglaf, of course, exiles the 11 disciples or followers who were, not do what they need to do, and he even not only exiles those people, but he exiles their families as well. And we can see this definitely as a commentary on how they thought blood like transmitted characteristics. So if you were cowardice, your family would be cowardice because they're related to you, because they kick out the entire family, not just the person who ran away. And we kind of had a discussion in class on whether or not we thought this was fair or a little extreme, and you can come up with your own conclusions on that as well. And we kind of just end with some commentary on Beowulf, and of course that leads us straight into section 8, which is mourning Beowulf, which of course he has passed at this point. They're talking about having completed his requests upon death, and there's quite a few things going on. You know, they talk about leaving the treasure there. They talk about 10 days to build the tower, and we looked it up. 10 in the Bible is a perfect number. It talks about perfection and things like that, so I definitely think the number 10 might have some interesting ideas to go with this text. You could probably write a whole essay on biblical number references in this piece. They definitely talk about Beowulf's ashes being in this tower. They praise him. They do all kinds of things to, like, honor him. They also have the number 12 in the Bible, of course. And it's also a really, really tall tower. And this tower, of course, the higher it is, the closer it is to God. Lots and lots of kennings again. And something super important. So there's this one section around 285-ish. It says, "So should all men rise up, words for their lords, warm with love, when their shields and protectors leave his body behind, send his soul on high." So this section is a little bit different than the rest of the piece. It kind of is the monks kind of interjecting for a second and saying that they should all treat their lords this way. So previously everything else is talking about Beowulf specifically. Here they're talking about other people taking that message beyond and honoring their lords and being loyal to the people that they're supposed to in their lives so they can get good out. So put good in, get good out kind of idea there. So let me know if you have any questions as we start writing, guys. I'm going to give you a couple of days to be working on this essay. Monday, obviously, you guys are going to take some time to do your Socratic seminar. After that, I'm going to give you guys a couple of days to be working on this essay. I'm not going to have it due by the end of the week, but I am going to give you a little bit more time, but keep on top of it because other things will be coming due as we get closer and closer to the end of the week. As always, contact me with any questions. Please keep on top of your work. Some of you need to make sure you're watching these videos because your explanations look a little funky. But I've been commenting when I see things that are a little bit odd as we go. Alright guys, well, I'll see you later.